The domain name industry is exploding. New top-level domains are being launched weekly. Marketplaces are selling more domain names every day, and there's a brand new marketplace that just opened up to take advantage of the upswell. Stay tuned to learn more. I have 3 sponsor messages before we get into today's show. First, if you have a great domain name and nothing to show when people visit, you're missing out on potential advertising revenue, leads, and partnership opportunities. NicheWebsites.com can build you a site quickly with a price option to suit any need. But as their tagline says, they don't just build websites, they build businesses. NicheWebsites.com. Second, if you're buying or selling a domain name or portfolio and you want an estimate of its value, Estabat.com is the place to go. Just like you'd visit Zillow.com to get an estimate of a house value, Estabat.com provides key information about the most important statistics so you can make an informed decision based on data. Finally, whether you're buying, selling, brokering, or financing a domain name, you need an escrow company that's properly licensed, bonded, insured, and audited. That company is Escrow.com, and they've been doing it since 1999. Escrow.com. It's about trust. Hey everyone, my name is Michael Seiger. I'm the publisher of DomainSherpa.com, the website where you come to learn how to become a successful domain name investor and entrepreneur directly from the experts. Last week I presented a tutorial entitled Selling Domain Names on Major Marketplaces. We discussed GoDaddy, Flippa, Cedo, domain name sales, and Afternic. But today came an announcement of a brand new marketplace that competes with all these and brings with it a sister company that has helped millions of people find work. Today I'm joined by 2 people from that company that just launched the marketplace freemarket.com. We're joined by Matt Barrie, CEO and chairman of freelancer.com, and Jimmy Young, product manager responsible for creating freemarket.com. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us, Michael.
Definitely.
Great to have you. Let's start with a general description of the marketplace, and then we'll go back and learn a little bit more about the parent company, because I know Domain Sherpa audience watchers are interested in finding potential freelancers to work with them. So how do you describe the purpose of freemarket.com?
So freemarket.com is a marketplace to buy and sell domains and websites. And we really created this marketplace because our community was telling us that what was out there just didn't serve the right purpose. It was too expensive and they couldn't find what they were looking for. So free market, it's free to list, and we only charge a 5% commission, which is completely unheard of in the industry.
Yeah, that is low, and especially when people go back and if they've watched the tutorial that we just put out, that's lower than anybody else in the marketplace. So you mentioned your community. When you say your community, how many people is that community, and what kinds of people do you serve in that community?
Well, I mean, at Freelancer, we have 13 million users across both freelancer.com and also Warrior Forum, which we acquired about 3 months ago. And so those of you that don't know what Freelancer is, we're basically eBay for jobs. So you can go online and you can post a job and get any of our 13 million people from all around the world to do any job you want. Now, the number 1 job done on freelancer.com is website design. So we've had about 3.8 million projects that have been related to websites, IT, or more generally software. So a very large percentage of the internet already has been built using freelancer.com, and now with Free Market, it's a great place to also buy and sell that piece of the internet.
So you've got millions of people using freelancer.com and Warrior Forum, and you've listened to them. In what ways do you listen to them, and in what ways are they saying they want their own marketplace for buying and selling websites and domain names?
Well, I mean, Warrior Forum already had a marketplace for buying and selling domain names and buying and selling websites. It was just tucked away in the forum as a bit of a sub-forum. So for a start, we've kind of broken that out now to a separate site. But I mean, the number 1 demographic really for buying established websites are internet marketers. I mean, they buy websites, then they find a way to turn those websites into a platform for selling other products and services. So we already had really one of the major buyer demographic for transactions in the space. We also have the major demographic for building these websites in the space. So we think putting them 2 and 2 together, it makes a lot of sense to basically combine the two. And look, I mean, if you go through Warrior Forum, you'll see countless post after post of people complaining about the solutions that are out there at the moment. I mean, I saw one poor individual that said, look, I just wanted to sell this domain name I had for $10. And I posted it out there, and it cost me $20 to sell it, and they took my domain name. So I got a bill for taking the domain name off me. So, if you sell $100 domain name, I mean, you're paying 20% commissions away. I mean, this is ridiculous. And freelancer really is the sort of, I guess, the Amazon of the online freelancing space. We have the widest selection at the lowest cost, and really that it fits into our philosophy that there should be a platform out there where you can sell your domains and not to pay a large fee. And we think that no listing fees is going to drive a lot of listings, and a 5% commission. I mean, that's basically it's impossible to beat. So really, if you've got a domain name, you've got a website, list it on the site. If it's listed somewhere else, it doesn't hurt to dual list it because there's no listing fees.
Yeah, the only downside is you have to remember to pull it off whichever marketplace it didn't sell at. So 5%. Are you going in with an offer that can't be beat in order to try and steal market share from the other marketplaces? Or are you just, trying to go for the Amazon market? We're going to undercut everybody because our process is more operational effective than everybody else.
I mean, this is our philosophy. I mean, if you look at Freelancer and you look at how the commission we charge there, we charge employers between 0 and 3%, and we charge freelancers between 3 and 10%, where a lot of our freelancers are just paying 3% or paying 5%. So it absolutely fits into our ethos that we just want to go broad, we want to go mass market. We want to be number one in the industry, and we set the pricing to basically take the market.
Yeah. So what type of domain names do you expect will be your sweet spot of freemarket.com? Are you looking at like the $10 domain names where people only have to pay 5%? Or, when I go there, I went there before, as soon as I read the press release and before we got on the show today, and I see domain names that are listed as high as $1.25 million.
So I mean, it's really across the whole spectrum. We're not targeting a high end, or we're not targeting a low end. I mean, we've got a great community that we sent a poll out to. Only how many users was that, Jimmy? That we sent the poll out to?
We sent it out to 150,000.
There's about 150,000 users, and from that we got 22,000 people wanting to submit domain names and websites for sale. So from a very there's about 17%. I think if I do the math quickly in my head, sort of sample, and so. From that community, we've got some great names. I mean, already we have names like files.com and editing.com, forums.com, etc. So, we hope to really span the whole spectrum.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. So, one of the problems that has plagued eBay.com over the past few years is the quality of the domain names. Everybody used to list their domain names at eBay for sale, but then the quality started degrading and going down, and now I don't know a single person that recommends listing their domain names on eBay. It's just full of really bad domain names because the listing fees aren't that high, so it's a low bar to get over. How will you keep freemarket.com free from low and no value domain names?
Well, I mean, it's the same way that we run the other marketplaces we run. I mean, the bastion behind any online marketplace is really the reputation system, the feedback, and the curation from the community itself. And so, with that sort of experience in mind, we're looking at ways in which we can actually get the community to actually curate the good content from the bad content and really help us manage and coordinate and organize the site. So, it's very early days. We only have about 1,000 domains listed at the moment in the first 24 hours. But as the site gets larger, we're going to have all these abilities to both filter content, find content, and curate the content. And I really think the powerful thing is the community, right? In any marketplace, you get the community to assist in getting things done, and you've got a fantastic model.
Definitely. Yeah, and we don't want to limit our users because a domain name that might not have a lot of value for one person could potentially be the exact thing someone else is looking for.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. I just find it difficult when you have to go through pages and pages of mediocre or no value domain names in order to find the good ones. So, I was interested to see if you had some solution that you've evaluated since you've been thinking about putting together this new system.
I mean, Jimmy's got a huge roadmap where we're going to provide a lot of information about each of the domains in terms of the metrics, the rankings of various sites, what the Alexa rank is, the traffic ranks, the page ranks, and so forth. So there'll be ways in which we'll make the really good content bubble at the top, so you won't be searching through thousands and thousands of pages of things that are relevant to you.
Nice. One of the other pieces of feedback that I hear from users of Domain Sherpa is that people at other marketplaces will default. So they'll create a brand new profile, they'll bid up other people's domain names, and then they just walk away at the end of it if it went too high or, whatever the reason. Do you have toll gates in place to prevent people from doing that? Walking away from auction?
obviously, we've got a lot of experience in running freelancer, making sure the projects are bona fide and they actually complete and they get paid. And furthermore, the employer comes back and posts more projects. So, we've got a pretty experienced team that does things like KYC, know your customer ID checking. We've got systems in place to verify phone numbers and so forth to make sure that people are actually real people and not opening fake accounts. And we also have a pretty extensive anti-fraud team that sits there monitoring the 13 million people in the community and making sure that everything's bona fide and above board. So we've got a lot of experience in this field.
Excellent. Let me take a step up on the details of the marketplace and ask you to, what do you see as the future state of the domain name industry now that you've just launched this marketplace that sells both websites and domain names? How do you see the domain names being a part of your future roadmap?
Yeah, so domain names is constantly growing. There's, way more top-level domains coming out every single year, every single month. But at the end of the day, I think, people still want the premium domain names, right? Like .com.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you buy property in the real world, you want to be on the best street in town, right? And while you've got .ninja and you've got all these, there'll be a freeform explosion in domain names. I still think that if you want to attract customers to your site, you want to attract real traffic, that you want to make sure you've got a premium property to do it from. So I think that every year, certainly the industry is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, what's the online property worth globally? It's a $1 trillion industry, right? In the future, the virtual property market is going to be just as valuable, I think. So, but people still want to get the quality locations, the best house on the best street, or the best locations in town. So,
Definitely. Looking out at future projections, do you two have any idea in 5 years how much of the freemarket.com revenue will result from domain names versus built out and operating websites?
We don't know, and there's a lot of different directions that Jimmy wants to take this site. I mean, he's looking at apps, he's looking at real world businesses, he's looking at, there's a range of sort of complementary things that would fit in very much into this marketplace. But the thing for us is that there's 3.8 million projects that have been posted to date that relate to websites in some way. Getting into that community and getting them really active and getting them to use this site as the number one place that they actually list their content.
Great. Whenever anybody launches a marketplace, you always have the chicken and the egg dilemma. Do you get too much inventory up first, but then there's nobody to look at it, or do you send a bunch of people to it, but there's not enough inventory, so they never come back? How did you seed free market with one, such great domain names to begin with, and then start sending the appropriate amount of traffic to it?
So basically, Matt alluded to this earlier, but from Freelancer, we have 3.8 million website and IT projects, and inevitably, people have domains and websites they want to sell. So it's basically coming from our community, and that's how we really got the initial push to launch the market.
Yeah, we sent out a poll. We hit a small sample size of about 150,000 people from the site, from basically Freelancer, and from that we got 22,000 responses. We sent them an email, and in the first 24 hours, listed 1,000 domains. So it's very, very, very early days. But we're in the process now of sending out campaigns to both people on Freelancer and also on Warrior Forum, and we expect it's going to build up rapidly over the coming weeks and months.
Quick break from 3 sponsors of today's show. First, are you tired of being upsold and cross-sold when you buy or renew a domain? Then try the newest registrar being built from the ground up with a beautiful interface, competitive pricing, and 24/7 support. Uniregistry.com will surprise and delight you. The right domain can change your life. Uniregistry.com. Second, investing in Chinese domains is crazy hard without expert native language advice. Now, as a service to the Western domainer community, TLD Registry offers ChineseLandRush.com. Using ChineseLandRush.com will help you invest in Chinese domains with confidence and without knowing a word of Chinese. Finally, Media Options is a boutique domain brokerage firm that gets results. They've specialized in helping companies acquire and sell high-value domain names since 2005, with a client list ranging from funded startups to Fortune 500 corporations. Visit MediaOptions.com to learn more. Yeah, I have no doubt you're going to see a ton of domains being submitted. I know people that have tens of thousands of domain names. Do you have the capability to accept, say 5,000 domain names in one fell swoop and add them onto a portfolio of a user on freemarket.com?
Yeah, so you're building an API to do that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
We're building an API and a bulk upload facility.
Excellent. I didn't see any links to freemarket.com from freelancer.com, which is an Alexa top 600 website in the world. How do you plan to promote Free Market and kickstart the activity besides sending out the emails?
It's been 24 hours. Jimmy's been working around the clock. He's had his team working all weekend to kind of just get out the door. He has a massive list of things to do in terms of cross-linking and promoting and so on. So, yeah.
There's a lot to do.
He's a bit burnt out right now. He's a pretty humble sort of guy, but he was in here all weekend, sort of with the headphones on, just kind of cracking out the code. So
awesome. So you're actually coding as well as product managing it, Jimmy?
Well, I've kind of moved off the code now, but I was one of the first people to write the first line of code.
Yeah.
Awesome, boy. So is your background in programming, Jimmy?
So I'm a computer science graduate.
Excellent.
Yeah,
and
he's one of the top grads actually from his class. Everyone in the company is freelancer is extremely technical. I've got a computer science degree. I've also got an electrical engineering degree. I mean, everyone in the company has some sort of advanced engineering or technical background. So that's kind of the philosophy we have. Everyone here is a geek in some way, I guess.
Well, we love geeks. So let me talk about freelancer.com for a little bit. For anybody that doesn't know the history of freelancer.com, it's a phenomenal store. You founded it back in 2009.
That's right.
And it included tech freelance job. You acquired a tech freelance job site, VWorker and Rent-A-Coder, the IT marketplace Scriptlance, which I've actually used for years. I actually found my chief technology officer off of a Scriptlance job that he did for me probably about 5 or 6 years ago. So, and that, of course, was rolled into Freelancer when you acquired it in 2012. 2014, you acquired Freelance Marketplace based in Poland. And then you went IPO in late 2013. Is that correct?
That's right, November of last year. It was a tremendous IPO. It was the third biggest opening ever on the Australian Stock Exchange. The stock was up 400% in the first few minutes. So it's pretty phenomenal success. Yeah. So you're right. We have grown this business a lot by a lot of M&A and consolidation in the space. We've acquired 13 marketplaces of one way, shape, or form over the last 4.5 years. So it started with Get a Freelancer out of Sweden. It was Rent-A-Coder, VWorker. Zlesnia, which is the Polish site, for example, this year. And then the one we're really excited about in the last 3 months is Warrior Forum. You can see here from Jerry's wearing the T-shirt, which is the world's biggest community of internet marketers. And the Warriors, this is an amazing community. These guys are really at the ground zero of entrepreneurship, building businesses, promoting businesses, selling online, creating new products, creating the future. We're really, really excited with this community. And I mean, this website as well. It's a top 250 website. So there's a huge amount of traffic there. It's been running for 17 years. And, obviously in that marketplace, you can buy, sell products, you can hire people, you can do a range of different things. But hidden away was actually a domain name and a website marketplace, which we've now used as well to kind of seed the content for Free Market.
Right, and I can see why you do that because I didn't even know about it. I've been on Warrior Forum. I have an account on it. I know people that I do call warriors that go after it. They're entrepreneurs. They're digging down. They're looking for any way to produce revenue. And they're on Warrior Forum. They're looking at the deals. They're starting deals. So from my research, I found that you acquired the 730,000 plus marketing professional forum for $3.2 million. Is that correct?
It is. We had to release the numbers to the stock exchange. Took me 4 years to acquire the business. Actually, I've got an email chain with Alan that goes back to 2010, where it took a long time to close. But we're pretty excited because we're kind of taking it to the next level. I mean, Alan did an absolutely amazing job building the business to where it was today. Yeah. And we have the resources and the capability and the capacity and the engineering team to really get to the next level. So. Yeah, we've only had the business for about 3 months. We've already launched a payment system for it. We've made a number of improvements to the site. We've moved it to our Amazon AWS and improved the scalability of the infrastructure. We've built a support team around it, and now we've also built out a marketplace around domain name and websites that was there for 17 years. No one really knew about it.
Yeah. So you've got a phenomenal, platform both for freelancers, now for selling websites and domain names, and you've got all the communities that feed in and out of those platforms. Tell me, Matt, why are you so passionate about freelancers, small businesses, and, operationally efficient marketplaces like this? What drives you to create these?
What I love is I love the field of entrepreneurship. I love the fact that people are going out there and creating businesses, because being an entrepreneur, the great thing about being an entrepreneur, and particularly a small business or like a technology entrepreneur, is you get to create the future. You get to come up with new products and services that change the world around us. And to me, that's really exciting, right? It's amazing. And with Freelancer, we have two types of entrepreneurs we really, really empower. And one is really the small business owner at home who may be owning a gift shop in Kansas that wants to get something done or something manufactured or a website built. And they're all entrepreneurs because they're running their own businesses, but they may be under-resourced and have not a lot of time or money to actually get things done. And we empower them with a digital workforce. And at the same time, we're empowering all these entrepreneurs in the developing world, being freelancers, who are really going out there and starting companies for the first time, helping small business in the West get things done. So we kind of sit in the middle of this sort of global phenomenon that's going on. And then on top of that, we've got the whole Warrior Forum community, which these are kind of the elite entrepreneurs out there who are kind of at the really cutting edge of creating new products or services. So it's really amazing just having 13 million just really passionate people who are just going out there and just creating businesses and creating products. I think it's just a really, really amazing place to be.
Yeah. You mentioned that website development was the top freelancing type job on freelancer.com. Is that correct?
That's correct. The big categories are,
No, please go ahead.
The big categories are website design, graphic design, internet marketing, copywriting, data entry, and so forth, and mobile phone app development.
Great. So I know that there's a lot of viewers of Domain Sherpa that have phenomenal domain names, like great single word generic domain names worth probably high 5 figures, 6 figures. Can they go to Freelancer and find someone to do the design for them, do the programming, do the testing, and launch their website on something like AWS?
Well, the easiest way to raise the value of your domain is actually put a website on there that's actually generating a bit of revenue or generating a bit of traffic, right? So absolutely. I mean, we are the number one place in the world to go out there, get a website built really cheaply, but really high quality, as well as get the graphic design done, maybe you want a logo done, whatever it may be, and also promote the business, right? So you can hire internet marketers to help you get traffic. So really, I mean, if you've got a domain name portfolio, it's an obvious thing to do is to go out there and get some freelancers to help kind of build up the property. It's just like buying a vacant lot in the street, right? You buy a vacant lot, let's go put a house on it, and you increase the value of the property.
Yeah, definitely. But if I'm going to build a house, or let's say I own a great piece of vacant land that's worth a lot of money, and I'm going to build a piece of property, I'm probably going to hire somebody to tell me, should I put a duplex on it? Should I put a quadplex on it? Should I build a single family home? What's it going to be like in the future? Can I go to Freelancer and hire somebody to help me figure out a business plan of best how to monetize a certain domain name before I even hire anybody to design it and develop it?
We have sections in business plans, we have sections in strategy, we have sections in brainstorming. I mean, you could even post a contest. So you could run a crowdsourcing contest to come up with an idea and have people compete against each other for the prize, right? So absolutely, you can get anything done with a computer you can possibly think of.
Well, that would be cool, because I know a lot of people that have great domains and they're willing to invest in it, but they're just not sure how to start, and they're not sure that they have a great idea. So the first thing they can do is just go to freelancer.com and start a competition or hire somebody to, I guess they would post the job and then people would apply, but without solving the problem yet. And then you would pick one to write the business plan, which is basically how are you best going to monetize it? What are the different options to monetize it?
That's absolutely right. So you could either post a job in somewhere like the business planning or the strategy sections or the brainstorming sections and try and find someone who'll prepare a plan. And as part of the brief, you can ask them to kind of submit a few ideas about what the plan might be about. Or, the place that I think I would probably do it is I'd go and post a contest, and you can post a contest in any of the 700 categories we have on the site, and have a contest for people actually to compete in real time with each other for who's got the better idea.
Oh, I love that. I think there's going to be some readers that are going to love that as well. Now, final advice on using Freelancer. If somebody if a watcher doesn't want to sell their domain name, or maybe they're going to list it with a buy it now price on freemarket.com. But until then, they might want to put some, put some of their resources into developing the business plan, which might only increase the price of it later. Do you recommend breaking up the project into distinct pieces along the chain and using different providers for each of those pieces? Like business plan, design, development, things like that?
I tend to like that because I tend to want to get the best of breed from each of those capabilities and make sure that, if I want to get, I want to get the best logo designed, I want to get the best designer for that, I want to get the best programmer doing the back end, I want to get the best person coming up with the strategy and so forth. So I think that if I was going to do it, that's the way I'll do it. Although we do have full service shops that actually have maybe 50 or 100 employees who actually are top rated freelancers who will do the whole thing sort of soup to nuts for you. It really depends on what your budget is, how technologically experienced you are in order to manage the project and break it down and figure out what the steps are. If you need some help, we do have an upgrade that's only for $20. You can for $20 you can post an assisted upgrade, and you have one of our team of experts actually help you formulate a plan and fill out your brief and get the project and actually find the right person. But you can do it both ways. At the end of the day, I think you probably will get the best result if you do break it down, but that will require more work from your end in terms of thinking about what to do. It'll probably cost a little bit more, and it'll take probably a little bit more time to get it done, but you'll get the best result in the end. But absolutely, if you've got a limited budget and you're kind of not sure what you want to do and you want your handheld, there certainly are some guys who will do the whole thing for you.
Excellent. And I recommend you head over to freemarket.com and give the marketplace a try. Jimmy, if people have questions, they have suggestions, they've got great domain names, but they're not going to upload them because it's a little cumbersome, and they just want to shoot you some feedback and maybe stay in the know on when you're going to launch your API or when you're going to allow a CSV upload of domains, things like that. What's the best way for them to contact you?
So you can make an account at freemarket.com and we'll automatically notify you with any updates.
Okay.
Or if you have feedback and you just want to ask me a question, you can email me directly at jimmy@freemarket.com.
Yeah. Also, in Warrior Forum, there's actually a whole forum that we've created where people can actually submit feedback and talk with other people and kind of discuss features that they'd like to see in the future. That's at warriorforum.com.
Yeah.
Great, and I'll have a link to that underneath. I'll probably, right after this show, go over to freemarket.com, create an account, upload a few domain names, and then show people what it's like to actually create the account and get them listed with a buy it now price. As you stated, Jimmy and Matt, the listing is free. You only pay 5% upon a successful transaction, so it's a transaction that closes. Any parting thoughts on free market and freelancer.com, gentlemen? Anything that
we're pretty excited. I mean, it's been a big sprint to kind of get it out the door yesterday, but you've got a huge list of things in the backlog that you want to get out the door. So we're really excited to kind of get the feedback from the community about what they'd like to see prioritized, where they see there's a gap maybe in the market that we can maybe take advantage of in terms of maybe features that are missing or ways in which people are not doing it the right way today, or maybe improve either the business model or just how things are presented or how content is found. We're very open to that. We really want to be this to be the best solution out there. So we're very, very happy to receive feedback, positive or negative, because obviously negative feedback as well are things we can improve.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And, I'll vouch for the ability to get in touch with you guys and get queued up. You're obviously interested in the marketplace, which is exciting. I can sense that you guys are working hard on this. I appreciate it. Just on a couple hours notice, we set up this Skype session with you in Sydney and me in Seattle. And I appreciate you making yourselves available to come on Domain Sherpa and share with the audience. Matt Barrie, CEO and Chairman of Freelancer.com, and Jimmy Young, Product Manager of FreeMarket.com. Thank you for coming on the show, educating us about this new opportunity for buying and selling websites and domain names, and thanks for being Domain Sherpas for others.
And thank you very much for having us on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Want a quick walkthrough tutorial on how to post your first domain name for sale on FreeMarket.com? Stick around. If you're listening to this interview, visit DomainSherpa.com and search for Free Market. Then forward to the last 3 minutes of the video to watch this tutorial. This on-screen tutorial actually took 8 minutes to record in real time, but I'm going to speed it up so you can see the entire process in 3 minutes. But don't worry, my voice and the description of the process will be in normal time. Let's get started. Visit freemarket.com. You'll see on the home page that it's nicely laid out, and you can even contact the product manager with their email address listed. I'm a new user. I'm going to type in my email address, create a username, enter in a password. I'm going to select domain name, type in one of the domain names that I have for sale. I'm going to type a quick tagline. Okay. I'm going to select a category, and I'm going to write a description. I'll copy my tagline, type in some additional thoughts. I'm going to go over to Estabat.com so I can see how much search volume and the appraised value is. Appraised value looks a little low to me, so I'm going to add some additional insights into why I think it's worth more. I'm going to grab a URL, paste it in there in case anybody wants to look at the Estabat valuation themselves. Then I'm going to grab the monthly exact match search volume for this phrase on the different search engines. I'm also going to grab the broad search volume for this keyword on the different search engines. I'm going to do a little wordsmithing here. Add in some additional thoughts. Now I'm going to go get some definitions. Make sure I didn't leave something out. I'm going to copy these, paste them into the description, do a little formatting. Okay, this is looking good. Now I'm going to go down here and set the auction duration and selling price. It looks like I must put it with an auction day, an auction timeline. I can't just say buy it now and list it. I'm going to set it to 30 days. I could set, it looks like I can only set it to 21 days. All right. Currency US dollars. I'm going to start out at $10. Let's see here. I have a buy it now price of $25,000, so I'll set my reserve at $20,000. That means that if it hits that reserve price, it will sell during the auction. And I don't want to promote my listing in any of these three ways, so I'm going to click, let's see here, success. Make sure I'm not missing any fees. Nope, it's only 5%. Post my listing. And, all right, I need to verify my listing. I'm going to do the Whois email verification because the domain name's parked. So they looked up my Whois email address, send me an email. I just received it. I'm going to click to verify it. All right, I've verified my ownership. Now I need to verify a phone number. So I'm going to have it send me an SMS. I'm going to enter in the code. Now I've verified my ownership and my phone number. So they're listing the domain. It is live right now. And it doesn't look like the formatting of the description went through, but hopefully they'll fix that soon.